Good afternoon and welcome to Advocacy Day and the Rally for Non-Public School Students today. My name is Tim Benz. I'm president of Independent. We're the largest statewide organization supporting the private and independent schools. And thank you for joining us today. And we are here to send a unified and resounding message to the governor and legislators to oppose the elimination of non-public pupil services and transportation aid, right?
And I'm Jason Adkins. I'm Executive Director of the Minnesota Catholic Conference, the public policy voice of the Catholic Church in Minnesota. We are so delighted that you are here and grateful for your presence today. As you know, Governor Walz and the Minnesota Senate have advanced proposals to completely erase critical services for students in non-public schools, nurses, counselors, busing, and learning materials. Folks, what do you think of that?
Well, today we're going to hear from school administrators, students, elected officials, and others who want to share how important these essential services are to our students and families in all of our schools and how devastating these impacts would be. And today, we must deliver a clear message to the governor and legislators that they should listen to their constituents and uphold a promise that was made 50 years ago to support all students regardless of their school choice.
Friends on three, support all students. 1, 2, 3. Support all students! We begin by hearing from some of our important school leaders. Raise your hand if you're a school leader. Let's give them a big shout out. We welcome to the podium Benito Matias. Benito is a champion of non-public schools and students and the principal of Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis. Welcome, Benito.
Now I feel like a celebrity. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We really, truly appreciate your support. As was mentioned, my name is Benito Matias. I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the principal at Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis. I had the privilege of attending an event this past weekend put on by the Northside Achievement Zone, also known as NAS. NAS, huge shout out. They're also located in North Minneapolis, and the president and CEO of NAS, Sandra Samuels, actually read an excerpt from the late, great John Lewis. A letter, of course, that he wrote before he passed away, but he had a specific request that that letter would not be read until after he passed away. And the gist of that letter, I'm just paraphrasing, is that it is now our turn that he's gone. And what that means is we have to recognize and stand up to injustices. And it's our opportunity to stand up and do something about those different things. And so when we think about injustice and we talk about the state of Minnesota supporting counseling, supporting nursing, supporting textbooks, for them to say that they're no longer going to do that is an injustice. And when we have across the country a challenge with absenteeism for the state of Minnesota to then turn around and say, we're no longer going to support the transportation that gets our scholars to and from school every day just because they attend a non-public school, is an injustice. When we think about that funding that we receive from the state, and it's an injustice for the state to turn around and say that they're no longer going to support us in that, that's not okay. And at Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis, we serve one of the most marginalized communities in the state of Minnesota. And while we always have room to improve, we do a pretty darn good job. About 99% of our scholars over the past 10 years that have graduated from Ascension have gone on to graduate from high school. So while we're not perfect, I think we're doing something right. And in closing, I would just like to say, Governor Walz, your proposed elimination of non-public student aid does not represent one Minnesota. We just ask you please to reconsider the proposed cuts and do what's best for all of Minnesota. Thank you for your time.
How's that guy, huh? Woo! Man, sign me up, Benito. Next, we're going to bring up just an absolute champion, as Jason said about Benito, Dan Beckering. Dan is the head of school at Southwest Christian High School in Chaska, a fierce leader who's driven a school to unprecedented enrollment and expansion, and he's here to whip up the crowd as well. Dan.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you for being a part of this rally. So I do serve as the head of school at Southwest Christian High School. I'm also the Association of Christian Schools International's Minnesota State Rep. There are 33 ACSI schools in our state, and they serve over 8,000 students and their families. So I speak for more than just my school. You know, we're here today because we believe that parents know what's best for their students when they choose the type of school they want them to be educated in. And for And for 50 years, our state, through these non-public pupil aids, has had a bipartisan commitment to making sure every student is supported equitably and that families can practice the right to freedom of choice in education. Governor Walz's plan will break that commitment, and it will reduce the freedom of choice many Minnesota families want to exercise. I've been speaking to school leaders all around the state about this issue. School leaders in rural and inner city districts that are telling me that they have students in their schools right now that will not be back next year if they cannot use the public transportation in their districts. Private school leaders that are asking me what they should do if they're forced to choose between letting school counselors and nursing services go or raising tuition. We're facing an epidemic in mental health issues with our young people. Cutting these services is going to harm private school students. And just simply asking private schools to raise tuition is going to keep families from even able to access a faith-based education. Our schools serve families from all socioeconomic backgrounds. And this proposal is going to hurt families of middle and lower income the most. They just can't pay more to get the things that their students need. And in closing, I just want to say I've been able to have the privilege for the last 24 years of witnessing firsthand the transformational impact faith-based education can have on young people. I've seen over and over again the positive impact our schools and our graduates are making on their communities. Eliminating this public pupil aid, this support, is a terrible idea. It's bad for our students. It's bad for our educational system. It will reduce school choice in this state, and it's bad for Minnesota. Thank you for your support.
Can I get everyone to hold up those great signs? Let's make a showing here. I want to call out these friends at the front. No child left unfunded. That's what we're here for today, is to make sure no child left unfunded. Can I get a cheer for that? Equal education for all, absolutely. Equal treatment for non-public school kids. Here we go.
And stop balancing the budget on kids, right? All right, so we've heard about what these programs and services, very important, do for our schools. What we want to hear is from people, from families and from students on what these do. So I'm happy to bring up Maureen, Anna, who are students at St. Agnes, and Anna's dad, Alex, wants to talk about why these are very important to their families.
Governor Walz, Ms. Demuth, and legislators, please don't take away my school nurse. My My name is Maureen, and I am a 7th grade student at St. Agnes School, just a few minutes walk from this very spot. I am suffering from a long-term chronic health condition. Because of my chronic disease, I suffer from headaches, nerve pain, insomnia, loss of ability to focus, and exhaustion. I have not been able to stay in school all year since 4th grade. This year was the first time I could stay in school all year. Throughout this time, I have relied on help from our school nurse. She helps so many students with health conditions, including my brother with his peanut allergy. I have friends with asthma, diabetes, food allergies, who all need the nurse. There are so many injuries that happen on the playground and on the athletic field, including another of my siblings who broke his arm at field day. The nurses take care of us all. It is a big help for me to know that I can go and rest as needed in a quiet and dark place with a nurse who is ready to help me with my problems and anything I may need, from medication to ice or a heating pad. Removing funding for our school nurse is unethical, unfair, and unconscionable. If you choose to defund the school nurse at my position, the school nurse position at my school, you are saying that you are not concerned about me being able to function in the school building. It may just seem like a vote to you, but it has a huge effect on me and my family and navigating my chronic illness through junior high and high school. Thank you for your consideration.
Hello, my name is Alex Sobieski. I'm a father of 4 lovely children who attend St. Agnes here in St. Paul. This is my daughter, Anna. Anna was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, with asthma, and she also suffers from allergies. The school nurse is not a luxury for her. It's part of everyday life. It's part of reality. For her, the school nurse means being able to eat a cupcake when someone has a birthday party. It means being able to join a pizza party when the class achieves something. It means being able to participate in gym class and in recess without worrying about an asthma attack or without her blood sugar dropping. It lets her be a normal kid. As a parent, I entrust her life to the professional care of a nursing staff that we work with daily. The nursing staff helps us manage her symptoms, it helps us communicate with her care team, and it makes it part of her ability to integrate into this education system. It also means that as a parent, I don't have to leave work multiple times a day to come dose her or administrate asthma medication. It's an issue of safety. Thank you. It's an issue of safety and life and death. I'll leave you with this. It's easy to assume when you hear private school that it's a conjure image of someone who goes to a country club or for people who are very affluent. I'm a single working father of 4, and I'm in charge of my children's tuition by myself. It is because of thank you. It is because of very generous donors and the support of our state that allows Anna to have access to textbooks and to the most vital care of a nurse. We rely on their support for essential services, and it makes it so we don't have to prioritize her life and her care over our job and our ability to provide stability. I ask you guys to vote against defunding and find another option that's good for everybody.
Please don't take away my school nurse.
Do you know what today is? Today is National School Nurse Day. How about that? Hey, I think we should just do what Anna said. Don't take away my school nurse.
We're now going to hear from a legislative champion, Senator Julia Coleman, who represents District 48, is a graduate of Hill Murray School in St. Ambrose, and is a champion against these cuts. Senator Julia Coleman, welcome to the stage.
Good afternoon. I gotta tell you, when I talk about how important it is to keep this funding for our private schools, the amount of pushback I get that I'm just supporting affluent families. Well, I want to tell you about a little girl whose mother was a small business owner and whose father was a Ramsey County deputy sheriff. Now, this little girl went kicking and screaming when a new school, St. Ambrose of Woodbury, opened up down the road. She didn't want to wear uniforms. She didn't want to be in what she thought would be a stuffy, strict environment, but quickly fell in love with the dedicated teachers, the kind students, and the high expectations being placed on her for the first time in her life. That little girl went on to go to Hill Murray. She found herself being raised by a single father with 4 children who worked not 1, not 2, but 3 jobs to keep his daughter at Hill Murray. And that still wasn't enough. It was through the generosity of the Archdiocese, the scholarships, and, well, the programs through the state that she was able to stay there. She went on to become the youngest woman ever elected to the state Senate, the Republican lead on education, and a mother to 3 little boys. My time at St. Ambrose and Hill Murray, while going through a tough divorce in my family, provided me a family at school. It provided me a place to call home. It provided me teachers that were willing to do tutoring for no extra pay while Dad was working 3 of those jobs. This isn't about protecting affluent families. This is about protecting the only chance we have for school choice in this state. And what the governor is proposing is incredibly narrow-minded. Imagine the strain on our public school system if we did not have these options for students. We could not afford it in this state, I can tell you right now. We need to keep these high-quality institutions open. And as the Republican lead on education, you have my word that we will put a line in the sand when it comes to this. We will fight tooth and nail for all of you. To the students in this room, I want you to thank your mothers and fathers who are working incredibly hard to give you this opportunity of a lifetime. To the parents who are sacrificing family vacations, that are fretting over their bills right now as inflation's going up, I want to thank you for your commitment to your children's future. To the teachers and the parents and to the principals that are operating these schools, thank you for what you are doing for the next generation. We will not forget you as we are working in this legislative session. We have your backs. Thank you very much.
We've heard from some powerful student voices this morning, and we have 2 more for you. We have 2 students, in fact, from St. Ambrose. One from St. Ambrose and one from St. Therese. I'd like to welcome Ryan and Zachary. Ryan is from St. Ambrose and Zachary is from St. Therese. And they're going to share a little bit about why the non-public school transportation aid means so much to them. Please come up, Ryan.
Hello, my name is Ryan and I attend St. Ambrose School in Woodbury. I love my school. But if I am not able to take the bus in the mornings and afternoons, I wouldn't be able to get to school on time. Both of my parents work 8 to 5 jobs, and they have to leave early in the morning and come home in the evening. If there's no bus, I do not know how I'll be able to attend St. Ambrose School anymore. Am I not an equal resident of Minnesota? Do my parents not pay their fair share of taxes and property taxes? By attending a private school, am I not saving the government more money because my parents pay taxes and tuition? Why can't my parents' taxes be used for my busing needs? Don't shatter my dreams and make me drop out of my favorite school just because of this discrimination. Governor Walz and legislators, don't leave me at the bus stop.
Hello, my name is Zachary, and I'm a 7th grader at St. Teresa's Catholic School. I'm here today with all of you because, like many students across Minnesota who attend non-public schools, I count on the bus to get to school and home every day. That bus ride isn't just a ride, it's how I get to my amazing school. It's how I get the education my family has chosen for me. The bus is not only transportation for me to get to school, it's also transportation for many of my friends and many other kids who attend non-public schools. For many families, including mine, the bus service the state helps provide is a really big deal. Without it, getting to school would be so much harder, and maybe even impossible for some kids. Taking away this funding doesn't just affect a few students, it affects thousands of us who go to schools like St. Teresa's. I know that if I no longer had busing, I probably could not go to St. Teresa's for my 8th grade year, which stinks because I love my school and all of my friends. If busing was taken away, I would probably have to leave all my friends as well as my school. 10 deserve certain basic services. Our schools actually save the state money because our families choose to send us here. If these services are cut, it might force some students into public schools, which could cost the state even more. The bus isn't a luxury, it's essential. It means our parents can get to work and we can get to a school that is the right fit for us and that we like. Busing also means we are safe and on time, ready to learn. Students in non-public schools are students of Minnesota too. We deserve to have access to safe transportation and the resources we need to learn and grow, just like every other student. To our lawmakers, please don't leave me at the bus stop. Don't cut our support. Keep funding these essential services for all students in Minnesota. Thank you for listening to me and for supporting students at non-public schools.
We'd like to welcome to the podium another champion of non-public school students, Senator Jason Rarick. And Representative Marion Rarick, welcome.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. You know, for those who are willing to listen, this sends a message to legislators at the Capitol. When these cuts first came out from the governor's proposal, my wife and I, our two oldest grandchildren, go to St. Francis Xavier Catholic School in Buffalo. And we knew what impact that would have on their family because they use busing and the other services all the time. But that's not why we are against these proposals. These proposals are just flat out wrong for Minnesota values. Many people, when they talk about these cuts, are talking, these are cuts to non-public schools. And that is wrong. That is not what these cuts are to. These cuts are to services that every student in Minnesota deserve. But if you have people who are trying to argue the point that these cuts, that public schools should not receive tax dollars from Minnesota, here is something for you to consider, and as so many of our students have already spoken about. This proposal does not save the state of Minnesota money. The average non-public school student receives around $1,000 in aid from the state, whereas a public school student receives over $9,000 from the state. If just 5% of the students who go to non-public schools, if their families decide we can't afford this anymore and they have to move over to a public school, we have saved zero. If more than that switch, we are costing the state money. So this is not about saving the state money. This is an attack on people who have values that they don't feel are being met in our public schools. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Like I said, anyone willing to listen today, you are sending the message for the values you believe in, and I hope they are all listening to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. We have some real champions here, don't we? Right? So, fantastic. I think we need to kick it. We need to kick it up just a little bit. We've got we've got Catholic schools here, right? We've got Lutheran schools here. We've got Christian schools here. We've got Jewish schools here. We've got Islamic schools here. We've got secular schools. We've got them all, right? And as a very dear friend and colleague of Jason and mine likes to say, when you've seen one non-public school, you've seen one non-public school, right? We're not all alike. So I think how about this? Who loves their bus driver? Right? Come on. We know you love your bus driver. Right? Who loves their school nurse? Right? Who loves their school nurse? How about your school counselor? What would it feel like if you get to school next fall and you don't have them? Right? That is how fast this could happen. So we need to really take heed of that. And as we've said, they've heard us, now they've seen us. So just want to make sure we, again, recognize school administrators. Who's here with school administration? Teachers, educators. How about board members and volunteers? Students, right? It's everybody together.
We've heard from administrators, we've heard from students, and we've heard from some of our champions in the Minnesota Senate. Now I want to give you an opportunity to hear from some of our Minnesota House champions, and we have lots of them here today. I'm going to invite them to the stage, led by House Majority Leader Harry Niska, who will speak on behalf of the House Republican Caucus.
Thank you for those who have been here to share your stories, but thanks to every single one of you for coming here, for making your voice heard, for standing for all kids, supporting all families, supporting every educational choice. It is vital that every student, regardless of the school they attend, private, religious, charter, or homeschool, has access to the best education for them and for their family. School choice is good for our students, it's good for our families, and it's essential for the future of our state. For decades, Minnesota has helped every student, even non-public students, so they can access essential services such as nursing, counseling, textbooks, and transportation aid. Those investments are vital. They have supported student success, strengthened communities, and yes, they've even saved taxpayer dollars. But that commitment is under attack, as we have discussed today. Governor Walz's proposed budget eliminates all funding for non-public pupil aid. Yeah, boo is right. Non-public pupil aid and non-public transportation aid. That proposal would have severe and lasting consequences. It would hurt students. It would burden families, and it would weaken educational outcomes across our state. And House Republicans have been clear and consistent. Boo, no, no. House Republicans are committed to defending Minnesota's non-public pupil aid. Thank you to our entire education team, Chair Kresha, Chair Bennett, and our entire education team have been consistent and strong. Thank you. Speaker Damath would love to be here, but she's actually in the room right now with the governor, conveying to him this clear message, the message that we have been clear in public, in private, and we want to be 100% clear today, and that is this: House Republicans will not agree to an education budget bill that cuts non-public pupil aid. We will not agree to an education budget bill that cuts your critical funding and leaves our next generation behind. We will fight with you to preserve non-public pupil aid and make sure Minnesota continues to invest in the success of all of our students. All of our students, no matter which school their families choose. Together, we are honored to stand with you. We will stand strong with you for educational choice, for fairness in the future of our children. House Republicans are proud to fight alongside you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making your voice heard. We are here with you.